What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Outside the Round. We are literally outside today at Razor Rowdy headquarters, and it's as cool of a podcast setting as I've ever done. I've done a lot of stuff with radio, done a lot of stuff here in town, but never something like this. And I was like, who would the greatest guest be to do something like this? And I called up my boy, Will Jones.
Yeah.
And Will happens to live very close to where we're at right now. You happen to love cigars.
Yes.
You happen to love Zin.
Outdoors.
And the outdoors. And what better? I mean, scenic Hermitage, Tennessee. We might get the fire sirens going off down there.
Absolutely.
But it's pretty awesome, man. So how's your week been going so far?
My week's been awesome, man. I feel like my weeks are just blending into each other. So it's like I look at it like the last week's been awesome, but the last year's been awesome. It's like just wide open, and I love it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's been like, and now you see with you've done touring and stuff before, and you've gone out of town to do shows. But when you start touring, and it's like you're in town writing, you're a family man as well,
Yep.
and then you go out on the road and you're touring. It all kind of just mumbles up to one
Dude, it
kind of
does.
thing. You forget what fucking day it is.
It's 100%.
I thought yesterday was Thursday, and I kept telling everybody, I was like, hey, Mark's got a good round over at Grindhouse tonight. Let's go over to Live Oak.
Yeah, this is a great Monday.
Nuke's like, dude, it's Tuesday. I'm like, oh,
know,
shit.
Dude. I know, man. I love it, though. And it's like every time I get myself caught in that moment where I'm like, golly, I'm busy, dude. You know, like just running, gunning, doing the whole freaking shows, and then coming home and loving on my baby and my wife and doing all that. But if I ever get like a weekend off, I'm like, man, I wish I was out on the road playing a show somewhere. You know, like even my wife will be like, what are you doing home right now? You know, like it never quits. I think it's for some people, and for some people it ain't, but I love it.
Yeah, dude. Where were you at? You were out in Texas with Laney, right?
Yeah, we were over in, we actually were over in Denmark for like 2.5 days. We flew over to Odense, Denmark, with Blue Foley and all those guys.
Oh, you went on a blue trip.
Yeah, dude.
I've always wanted to go on a blue Foley trip overseas.
Dude, it was great, dude. We went over there. Flights got delayed like 24 hours, so we ended up flying out, and we got over there a day later. But we were there for like 2.5 days doing the Nashville Nights thing, which was killer, dude.
Yeah.
Like we had people coming down from Norway and all kinds of people to hang out with us and see us. So we did that, and then I flew back in and got back into the States, Nashville Monday night at like 10, and then I left the next day for Texas. And then we were in Texas the rest of that week doing shows with Ashley McBride and Lainey Wilson and all kinds of Neil McCoy, you know.
Dude, that's
to finishing off. It was an awesome week.
That's awesome. Now, you've been out to Texas before, right?
Yeah, I've been down to Texas quite a bit. We've been down there a few times this year, actually. But God, I love Texas, man. I always say it too when I'm down. I'm like, dude, you know what I love about Texas is every bit of it, dude. Everything. I love Texas.
Yeah. I've toured through a lot of different places in Texas, and Texas crowds are different, but I think it suits what you're doing with the traditional style, the traditional take on country music and the storytelling. They really appreciate that because it's different from the Southeast. You go to a show,
100%.
you go to a show in Georgia, and it's like a rock show, or it's
Right.
like everybody. But you go to like those dance halls, and they pop out and they dance when they like the song, and then they hop off the floor,
Yeah.
and then you start the next song, and then they hop back out there and dance again.
Yeah, man, it's cool too. And even just seeing like the club scene change on the East Coast, you know. But you're right, dude. I mean, East Coast club shows now are like rock shows. And you go to Texas, man, and they all come out, and it's like it's legit, dude. I mean, they come out to listen to your songs. And it's also fun for me because, man, like when you're playing, especially when someone like Ashley or Lainey or whoever's cool enough to let you open the show or being on a show, you know, you go out in front of their fans and you're like, man, it's either going to go one or two ways here. You know, like they're either going to love what I do, or if they don't like what I do, then like there would be no worse place to be than on stage in front of a bunch of Texans who are not digging what you're playing, man.
Dude, I've seen that before.
You know, but thank God. I mean, everything went over great, and Texas has been so good to me, man. They really have, and all the artists down there too. I mean, I have so many friends in Texas. I just love going to Texas and playing my music.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
well,
dude.
let's talk about these cigars for a second.
Sure, let's do it.
We're smoking these 4 kicks, the bigger 4 kicks. We usually smoke the smaller 4 kicks Maduros from Crowned Heads. And you're a big cigar guy, and I found that out pretty recently. And I'm kind of bummed I found that out recently because I've been a big cigar guy. Like, I was smoking cigars with my dad before I was drinking beers with my dad. That was just the culture of my family dynamic. And Nicky T's a huge cigar guy, and
yeah,
yourself.
Well, you know what's funny is talking about Crown Heads, man. A good buddy of mine, Jeff Pratt and John Goolsby. Jeff's out in Arkansas now, but man, they turned me on to Crown Heads. Probably, I don't know, a few years ago or something. And right out of the pandemic time, somewhere in there. And man, I found that Wabash Cannonball, and I was like, what a cool cigar, you know. And I just love the cigar, so I went and bought a couple boxes of that. Thanks to them tipping me off, and I just love Crown Heads, dude. They're awesome. This is a great cigar.
Yeah, dude, it's a great size. It's premium cigars, Crown Heads, and like it's just fun to be able to sit out here in the middle of the day on a Wednesday, like middle of the week, middle of the day. It's October. It's not. It's the weather's cooled off a little bit,
starting to edge off.
Yeah, which is my favorite time of year.
Same, dude.
And you got spoiled growing up in the fall in Virginia.
Oh man, dude.
Like, I-80 driving through. I love I-81. Just such a pretty drive. That's my gateway to get back home up to the Northeast. And I have family in East Tennessee and grew up obviously a big Hokies fan, which back in the heyday of that. But like, where in Virginia did you grow up? Yeah,
so I was raised up in the southwestern part of the state.
Oh, so
of Virginia.
So not far from Blacksburg.
Like an hour and 15 minutes from Blacksburg, hour and a half. And my whole family are Hokies. So both my parents went to Tech, and I'm one of 5 kids. And 4 out of my 4 sisters, I got 4 sisters, and 3 of them went to Tech, and 1 of them went to the University of Virginia.
Oh wow! There's always a UV. There's always a Wahoo in like every family dynamic.
Got to
like
disrupt the whole thing, you know. So yeah, she went to UVA, and but I'm a Hokie, man. I love it, dude. Go Hokies! And she was actually wearing like a Beamer Ball T-shirt when she got like her acceptance letter to UVA.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that was actually my first. So I've been to I think 3 or 4 Virginia Tech games. In my life, and the first one I went to was the Commonwealth Cup in 2006.
Oh yeah,
2006. So that was back when they had like Chris Ellis on defense. That was right at the beginning of the Tyrod Taylor era.
Dude,
like
Tyrod baby.
Sean Glennon, and you had like Eddie Royal, you had Cam Chancellor, like
man.
Those Tech teams. David Wilson. This I think is when I got this jersey. The number was this was Ryan Williams' number.
Dude.
We had so many good fucking backs.
Man, Ryan, golly, what a tank.
And the hard part about it's a lot harder to be a Tech fan right now. It has not been. It has been tough. The last 10 years have been a little rough for us, but even then, it was like we had the longest active streak of 10-win seasons. We were right up there with Texas and all the other big teams of that era. But we just never could get the BCS Bowl.
I know.
Like that one Orange Bowl that they won. I think it was either against Cincinnati or Kansas. Was great, but they'd win the ACC championship and they wouldn't qualify for like the national title, but they get to these BCS games.
And we'll never forget that national championship.
No.
Oh, man. What was that, 99?
99 with Mike Vick. And that was back in the Big East days, dude. So you follow college football pretty closely?
Yeah, pretty close, man. I'm loyal to Virginia Tech, even though it's definitely been not easy, like you said, man. For the past few years, I always like get really excited, watch the first game. We lose the second game, I'm like, dang, but I'm still hanging in there, dude. I support the Hokies.
Yeah, isn't it crazy now seeing all this conference expansion shit?
Oh, it's nuts.
Like
it's nuts.
You're about to have USC have to go to State College, or actually go further, go to New Brunswick, New Jersey to play Rutgers in a conference game. Like, what the fuck?
I know, dude.
I like the.
And then the rest of the world is SEC.
Yeah, I miss the days of those regional rivalries.
Oh, I do too,
and
man.
Luckily, we still get them in the ACC.
Sure.
Like the ACC, you still have it. Where it's still very much like that, but Tech was
even like Big East, man. Like I remember those West Virginia Tech games.
Oh,
dude.
The Black Diamond Trophy.
Oh, dude.
And you remember the famous last time that they did that rivalry until they redid it recently? Marcus Vick going into the end zone at Morgantown, flipping off the crowd.
Yep. Classy.
Yeah, Marcus Vick was a damn nightmare, dude.
But he was kind of a nightmare, but he was so talented. Everybody said too. They were like, he's probably more talented than Mike.
Yeah.
And they used to stand at half court in the basketball gym, War Memorial or somewhere, and they would shoot half-court shots, one-handed, like right-handed and then left-handed, then right-handed and left-handed, and make them. And it's nuts, dude. I mean, even when I was at Virginia Tech, dude, I used to play like pickup basketball with the football team.
Oh, really?
During the off-season, and it was like insane, dude. I mean, it was a lot of fun though. It was really fun. But.
Yeah, I have 2 cousins that are. So I got into being a Tech fan. I didn't go there. My uncle paid for my application to go there, but nice. I want to do communications and all that. It just made more sense to go to college in Jersey.
Sure.
But my 2 cousins that go there, they love it. And
Blacksburg's amazing.
Yeah, Blacksburg's great. And there's something about going to Lane Stadium.
Oh, dude.
I mean, there's no better game day atmosphere. I saw Barstool recently ranked it as like one of the best tailgate cultures.
Oh man, it's incredible. And I talked to that too, man. Like buddies of mine from all over, and anybody who's ever been to Blacksburg and Lane Stadium for any kind of football game, they always say the same thing. They're like, man, like Tech fans are so loyal, but also like ready to have a good time and so welcoming too.
Yeah,
like,
respectful,
like trash talk, but also like, dude, here's a beer. You know, like hang out with us. We're glad to have
Here's
you
a
here.
beer. Here's a turkey leg.
Yeah, man, a turkey leg.
The
dude.
turkey legs that are bigger than
Yeah.
a kid's head, bro.
Dang right, bro.
What's it like being a dad?
It's the best thing I've ever done. It's the coolest thing I've ever done. Life changing, you know. And you talk to parents all the time, and they're like, "Man, it changes you. It changes you completely." And you're like, "Okay," you know. And then it all goes down, and you're like, "Okay, I get it. I see. It's a miracle. Coolest thing ever." She, Everly Kate, man. She's Everly Kate Jones. She's
how old is she
9
now?
months old now.
Oh wow.
Just like crawling around on a
Yeah.
mission like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, see, I've kind of come into the role of like, I'm in a great healthy relationship,
Yeah.
and my girlfriend Erin has a little daughter,
Yeah.
Charlotte,
Yeah.
little 5-year-old,
Yeah.
and it's like just being around a kid just changes you.
It changes you, dude, in the best way ever.
Yeah, it really does.
And like Everly's like we call her Evie, but man, her personality's like starting to show up.
oh, that's great.
And she's like, you can see her like giving little like sassy, you know, expressions and stuff, and it's just really fun. It's really fun, man. I'm having a good time. Yeah, country music, raising babies, and
yeah, and how old are you?
you know, I just turned 32.
Yeah, so you're living a great life.
This
at
is
third.
that's perfect. You know,
Yeah.
everybody. I mean, I think about my 20s and stuff too. You know, and I was honky tonking and running and doing and stuff, and it's like, man, about like from like 28 to like where I am right now is just really good years, man.
Yeah, 28's where I'm at right now.
Oh,
and I
dude.
feel like I'm starting to figure it out with the Raise Rowdy stuff.
Yeah.
With being still going on the road to do festivals.
Yeah.
Nikki and I go to a lot of festivals and still get out to a lot of shows, but having that dynamic that I'm in now of like finding a good relationship and
Yeah, dude.
being around a little one and like getting my shit together.
Yeah, man, you kind of get to this like really comfortable spot of, you know, you're grounded, but you're healthy, you feel good, you're going and doing, and it just feels like you're kind of catching your stride. And I think most people really start catching their stride about 30, about 28, 30, you know, and it's awesome, man. I'm having the time of my life right now.
That's good, man. So the music.
The music,
you've been-
dude.
You've been in the studio working on stuff. Put out a badass cover of one
Thanks,
of my
man.
favorite country songs of all time.
Thanks, man. Same.
Johnson City, Tennessee.
Dang right, dude.
I love
Modern
that,
day Bonnie and Clyde.
bro. The Travis Tritt cover and the one song that you do about Sedona.
Yeah.
Great fucking song. That's,
Thanks, man.
That's one that because we're obviously at a lot of writers rounds. We
Sure.
put them on and host them. We pop by the listening room for rounds. And I remember I think it was during Tin Pan South. Did you play over at listening room? Because we went over and saw you there.
Yep.
And it's like there's certain people you see them at rounds, and the room just kind of gets quiet and gets enthralled with the story that the
Sure.
writer or the artist is telling up there, and you're one of those people.
Oh,
Like,
man, it's all about the words, you know? Just
Yeah,
tell a
dude.
story, country music. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, and you've been in town now for a little while, but being able to get in the studio and having a team with you now that's in the Will Jones business,
For
wanting
sure.
to put out music. What's that all been like?
Oh, man, it's been amazing. And you know, it's so funny because I didn't move to town until 2019. So I really put off moving to Nashville, man, for a hot minute. And I was like, I don't need to move to Nashville yet, you know. And I was playing a lot of club shows, and I was staying busy doing, you know, small town shows and amphitheaters and stuff like that. And man, I just got really sick of singing other people's songs, and the songs I was singing, you know, that were mine. I was like, they're not where they need to be. And so, man, you got to go where the best songwriters are, and that's Nashville. So I moved in 2019 just in time for the pandemic to hit.
Bro, yeah, I was
less
fall,
than a year
yeah,
later.
Yeah, I was fall of 2018. So
Yeah,
I was right
dude.
around that same time.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool in the sense of like, no, not cool at all. It was the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. But it was like, it worked out in a sense because I had kind of backed off my schedule, and I had shows for the rest of the year booked. And but I was like putting in time to like wanting to be in Nashville, working in Nashville. And so about the time that happened, I was kind of in a position of wanting to be here anyway. Of course, that gave me no choice, but it worked out good, man. I wrote a lot of great songs during COVID, and I think a lot of people kind of reinvented themselves during COVID
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. And for me, it was kind of that opportunity of like, okay, who am I as a country artist? What is my sound? And what am I doing here? You know, and it gave me some time to get my head around that and just maximize every day here. So I signed a publishing deal with Universal. I've been with them a couple years, you know, so I've been in the industry for, you know, I call it 2 years, really, just like on Music Row, working every day and stuff like that. But man, we've made a lot of progress,
Yeah.
you know, fast, and I got some really awesome people working with me, and we're over at WME. You know, they're doing great work on the agency side of things.
How wild is it
And,
to think back to you having to hustle and book your own shows and
dude.
have those Friday night bar gigs, those Thursday night, like getting gigs wherever you can, like just being hungry back in your hometown, back in that Virginia, East
North
Tennessee,
Carolina,
North Carolina scene, to now you have somebody booking shows for you, advocating for you, doing all that, bro. It's gotta be cool to look at.
Dude, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think it's so awesome, and this goes back to talking about like why it's so important to go out there and hustle and grind yourself for a while, is because, man, when you get in that position where you have just really competent people who believe in you, working on your behalf, you just appreciate it so much more, and you know how to maximize it more too. You just don't take it for granted, and that, it's incredible, man. I mean, I get a call and it's like, boom, we got this offer, we're doing this or whatever, and it's really cool, man. And it allows me to be more creative and have some more time to do stuff I need to do, as an artist, which is awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's big, and you, for a long time, you were one of the, and you still are in a sense, like you're one of those like staples to where people want to go and see you play, like at the local. Bro.
Yeah, man. So
the local Nashville scoreboards, like all those different gigs where it's just you build. That's kind of a way that someone can build buzz in town. I feel like you definitely took that path of doing those regular gigs, like you were doing in Virginia, but just doing them here in town.
Just doing them in Nashville. And what was so cool too, and everything happens for a reason, man. But when I got out here, and kind of as the COVID stuff was tapering off. Man, the local just kind of became like a really comfortable spot for me to hang out. It's where I met so many people and made so many friends. And so it only made sense, when we started the full band shows there on Monday nights, which we still do every Monday night. It's the only in-town gig that I do now.
I love that you do that still.
Oh, it's awesome, dude, because it's like, for me, it's like selfish in the sense of, like, that's the night that we get to hang out, man, drink a little tequila, and play Keith Whitley and Haggard and Waylon and just get the honky-tonkin' out of our systems, man, like tellies, pedal steel guitars, fiddles, and it's a great, dude, it's a badass band, too. So the music's really good, and it's fun, man. So I still do that, and I love the local, man. I love it. And, of course, I spent a lot of time at, Nashville Palace and Scoreboard, a ton of time down there. I never really did the Broadway thing.
You didn't have to.
Luckily, I kind of got in a position where I didn't have to, and I found some venues where I could play the stuff I wanted to play, you know, that kind of represented who I am as an artist, and so thankful for those places. But yeah, dude, it's awesome, man. Yeah,
did you have a little bit of a fear moving to town about, hey, I'm singing more of this '90s traditional style stuff, and I'm not Morgan Wallen, I'm not Florida Georgia Line, I'm not.
For sure.
This or that. I want to sing this style of stuff. And that style of stuff has really started to come to the forefront. There's a huge market for traditional stuff that there wasn't 4 years ago when you moved here, when I moved here.
Yeah, it seems like the demand for it's definitely increased a ton, man. But, it's funny because I was playing club shows, and I saw a piece of the influence that Florida Georgia Line and all those guys had on country music, and there was no denying it. I mean, it was massive.
Oh, yeah.
It was so huge. And so when I was playing club shows, I was kind of the guy that went in there and I always say it like this, like even if, I never really covered any of their stuff, but it's just because really it wasn't true to me. Like if I sang Whiskey Glasses, you wouldn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't sound like what I'm supposed to be singing because it's not really who I am, but it's great stuff. But I was already kind of like calloused, to being the odd man out on that stuff. So when I got to town, I was a little nervous about it, but not really, and it's probably because I moved. I was 27 when I moved. So I was kind of already pretty comfortable in my own skin, man, with what I was doing music-wise.
Yeah, and you found guys that also were in the same boat that were doing their thing in their hometown. Someone moved a little bit younger and talking about, like, the guys in Old Hickory, talking about Sam Banks, talking about Corey Hunt, talking about that crew.
In fact, I met Sam. And me and Sam, by the way, Sam Banks, who's just an incredible talent.
Oh, one of the best.
Insane. But me and Sam, we co-host that Monday night show together.
Oh, awesome.
At the local. So it's me and Sam every Monday night. And but I met Sam actually at our buddy Jeff's house. And him and John Goolsby were living together over in East Nashville. And I met Sam over there, who's the guy that introduced me to Crownheads.
Wow.
Yeah. But I met Sam over there, and Sam was like, who's this chump, And I was like, who's this guy, dude? Like... And then we kicked off. We actually kicked off 2 Dozen Roses. We were jamming in the living room, and we kicked off 2 Dozen Roses, and we both played the intro lick in like one of us played the harmony line to the intro lick, and the other one played the intro lick at the same time, and it was like, dude, do you want to be best friends and go play karate in the garage or whatever? You know, it's like immediately we were like, yeah, dude, we're, you know. And so I met those guys, and of course that was reassuring, dude. Like, you're finding some cats who are really into like Haggard and country music, and man, there's so many now. But it was a blessing to meet those guys for sure.
Yeah. And even on the female side, there's folks, May Estes,
come on,
SJ McDonald,
SJ, what a rock star. Yeah, dude. And me and May, it's funny. We spent like the last like 3 weeks
Y'all
together.
said that because I was very thankful I was able to have you both on our, or all three of you on our anniversary show at Live Oak.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you having us.
That was a big night for us, and we wanted to fill it with guys and girls that we believe in, that have been in the family, that were playing rounds with us during COVID, that have kind of been there since the get-go for us. But yeah, I remember you and May walked in, and she's like, I've spent so much time with old Will Jones lately.
We have been hanging, bro. We went to Denmark together. Like, we were on a plane together for like 24 hours total. Then we got back, and I was like, all right, well, I'll see you in Texas. She was on the Laney show down there.
Yeah.
Which was actually really cool. I actually ended up introducing her at the Laney show, which was cool. The radio guy or whoever was doing the introduction like disappeared, and so they were like, "Who's gonna, you know, somebody's got to bring May on, you know, like she's doing this huge, killed it, full band set as May always does, man, just a freaking rock star, you know." And I was like, and my wife had flown down for the show, and she was like, "We'll do it," you know, and I was like, "All right, dude." So I just like ran back out on stage and hyped them up and brought May on, and that was really fun for me too. And yeah, but dude, she's so good, man. SJ is also just incredible.
And another Virginia.
Yeah, another Virginia native.
Yeah, and this is something too, because Virginia's gotten a lot more hype and a lot more eyes on it here recently.
Well, you know, it's funny because in Nashville, you know, and it still is. It was, you know, predominantly like Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and stuff like that. And there were, you know, Virginia. There really wasn't that many of us from Virginia. You know, or even North Carolina, not a ton, you know, which I was raised like a mile from the state line in North Carolina.
Oh, wow. So you're right out there. Okay.
Yeah, I was like 45 minutes north of Winston-Salem and like 15 minutes above a little town called Mount Airy, North Carolina. So I was in a community called Cana, Virginia, but it was like a mile from the state line. So I was really North Carolina oriented a lot, you know, and that's where I went and did a lot of shows and stuff. But man, you know, we were all raised playing bluegrass music. You know, and that's what I did my whole life. So
I can see that when you're on the guitar, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got the voice, you've got the song, but the guitar picking, bro. You are a guitar picking son of a gun.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Well, that's what started. Yeah. You know, that's where I got started, dude. I was just obsessed with guitar when I was young, and it was bluegrass. It was bluegrass music, you know.
Yeah, they do such a good job of bringing kids along in that world. Like, it is such like a family.
It is.
Like, it is literally a family tradition.
Yeah, and if you think about it too, like roots music wise, I mean, that's culturally how it's always been, right? You know, it's always like family oriented, like a cultural upbringing, and that's how bluegrass was for me. My dad got me started and taught me how to play. He was incredible, you know, and so, yeah, man, it was all bluegrass. And so now you're seeing this, like, which I'm so happy about. You're seeing this huge uptick in demand for, like, mountain music. You know, like Charles Wesley Godwin, my dude, is killing it, man. You know, even in, like, a lot of, like, the Zach Bryan stuff and everything else. I mean, there's, like, a lot of that, what I would consider to be, like, mountain, Celtic, folk influence in there.
Yeah.
And it's like storytelling, dude. I mean, you know, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you've got, like, the Oliver Anthony stuff,
yeah.
Obviously,
oh God,
was like, and it's like, that's just a guy, like, growing up in the mountains, you have to know
another Virginia guy.
You have to know guys that are like that.
For sure. Like, he went to high school with him, man.
Yeah,
man.
Like, it's just you've all, like, Georgia's been able to say what it wants. Like, the folks from Georgia, Alabama,
Absolutely.
Texas, Mississippi have been able to do that for a long time. But now it's like the voices are being heard from the guys and girls that grew up in Appalachia, that grew up around coal mining culture, around factory culture. Like,
that's right, man.
It's a beautiful place to grow up, but there are some dark sides
to
it, man.
Oh, it's, incredibly dark sides, but really beautiful. I mean, I miss it every day, especially like you said, this time of year, man. Oh, dude, because we get all seasons really evenly back home. And so this time of year, man, it's like already cooling down. It's deer season. Like here, it's like, I mean, my buddies are going deer hunting and it's like 90 degrees. I'm like, God, I just don't think I can do it, man.
No, yeah.
I just don't think I can do it. So, there isn't a more beautiful place to grow up in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains there in Virginia. But yeah, dude, Oliver's killing it. Man.
It's wild just to see.
Talk about overnight. Bam. Whoa.
And what I love is that the audio of that song is just the video.
Yeah, it's just the video.
It's like you hear the woods in the background.
Dude, it's because, man, like, people want that. people want real. I don't blame them. I do too, you know.
Yeah.
People want to be like, I hear that guy sing, and I know him. And that's like somebody that if he came over to my house for supper at night, like I wouldn't be weird at all. You know, like I know that guy. And I think that's what Oliver Anthony's done. Like anything that feels authentic and real and raw and not perfect, people are like, they're craving it, man. I am too. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like people are finding that in your music, even though, I mean, you're working with some incredible, who you working with producer-wise?
Yeah, so Bart Butler
Yeah,
produced all this stuff.
Bro,
Yeah.
that is a huge deal to be working with a guy like Bart Butler.
100%. Yeah, he produced all the John Party stuff, and he's just had a great career. Started out, I mean, he's done song plugin. He's, you know, been in publishing. He's done every angle of it. But, yeah, he produced this stuff that we're doing. Yeah, and I think it, you know, and what's cool about working with Bart is, like, when we get in the studio, I've got full range of, like, freedom, you know, and so I'm in the booth with the guys going down, and, man, the band we had was just insane, you know, but being in there with those guys, going down on guitar, building guitar parts with players like Rob McNelly, you know, and stuff like that is just, they don't get any more fun than that. So I think a lot of that shines through on these, at least I hope it does, on these tracks.
No, I think it definitely does with Sedona, and I can't wait to hear the rest of them.
Oh, dude, we got another one coming.
When's it coming?
The 13th, man.
Oh, fuck.
Like not this Friday, but next Friday.
Okay, so that'll actually be when this episode comes out.
Dude, that's awesome. So
what's the song?
Yeah, it's a song called Whiskey Sippi.
Whiskey Sippi.
Yeah, man, and it's swampy and like Delta River Pirates, like mean as shit. Whiskey Sippi, dude. It's cool.
I've definitely heard you play this out.
It's a cool song. I love it. I wrote it with Davis Corley and Lee Starr, who I wrote Sedona with.
Yeah.
And, man, we always just, when we get in a room together, we always just, like, pick up a Rezo guitar or something, and we end up in some kind of weird, like, I don't know where this is going at all, but it feels good. You know, let's see where this happens, what happens here. And that's what happened with Whiskey Sippi, dude, and I love it, man. So we're dropping that song October 13th, and that's the first of many. We got a bunch more coming after that, too. So we're just kind of slowly just, you know, dropping some breadcrumbs out there, and then it's gonna be full force, baby.
Bro, thank you for putting music out, because you're one of those guys, like during COVID, I was sending back and forth, like, and even like I guess early post COVID, where I had friends back home or just friends around town where the only way you were able to show like a new artist to somebody, because they didn't have music out yet, was through the shit you were putting up on Instagram.
Sure.
or like a story of you and the guys playing at the local or playing at
Sure.
scoreboards. So like to have music out now where I can like check out my boy Will Jones.
Yeah, dude. Well, I think it's a time, man, and I think that's the way it is now. Like especially when I'm going out playing shows, man, you know, you step on stage and then you step off stage and you've got, you know, 150 or 200 new followers on your social media pages and stuff like that. It's like, man, I owe those people my time, you know, like they're cool enough to support my music. Like they deserve a piece of me, you know, not just on stage. It's like, I want to give it to them on social media, and I want to give them music, which is the main thing, you know? So yeah, we're releasing that track the 13th of October, and then we got another one coming right after that. And then first of the year, we're picking it up and knocking them down, dude. So
hell yeah, I'm guessing touring's coming through as well.
Yeah, man, we got a bunch of cool shows lined up. We're pretty much full for the rest of the year. I think we've it's so crazy. And I was laughing the other day. I was like, dude, I wouldn't have booked me, you know, like, but just, you know, through word of mouth and our live shows, it's turned out great, man. And we've just been so blessed to have artist support, like Ashley McBride, you know, and Lading Wilson and people like that, letting us come out and do some shows with them. And
that's the family, and that speaks to your character and your ability to just be you and hang. And like Ashley McBride's story starts at the local. Like she spent years being that was her one of her weekly gigs, was playing music, playing Freak Show, playing the different
and
events.
she's got the bluegrass side to her too.
Yeah, she does.
Man, no, there's no cooler chick, dude. And more authentic, man.
And her band is dope too.
Dude.
Chris and those guys.
Oh man, yeah. And another one. I grew up playing bluegrass with Chris.
Oh really?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know
he was like
I didn't know he came from a bluegrass background.
Oh yeah, dude. Bluegrass mandolin player, guitar player, and everything, and just a monster.
I had no idea he did bluegrass. That's fucking cool.
Dude, monster player, man. Songwriter, singer, all of the above. Her whole band, dude. If anybody that listens to this has not went to an Ashley McBride show ever yet, go. It's insane. Like her band, her show, every bit of it is like just awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And it kind of walks a similar line that I'm aiming at, as far as like, how do you interject this like authentic, raw, you know, bluegrass edge to like, you know, what kind of a rock and roll swampy and like country damn music setting in a show, you know, and I mean they do that really well. So it's so people like that supporting us, man. We're doing more dates with Ashley at the end of the year. I know we're doing Charleston, West Virginia, Charlotte, North Carolina, which is going to be a blast. Both those shows are going to be so sick.
How many you've had to have seen some shows and played smaller gigs up in those cities, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. In fact, I remember going up through West Virginia, man, playing some music and stuff, and like at that time, like I know one time I stopped in at a brewery in Princeton, and Charles Wesley Godwin was playing. I found a picture the other day of this, you know, and he was playing in there, man, and he was like grinding, dude. I mean, really working that dude deserves everything that he is getting and more, you know. And so like I popped in to see him and like have a beer, and then like cruising on up through West Virginia, playing shows in Virginia, North Carolina, and outside of Charlotte and Winston-Salem and everywhere. So it's gonna be really fun going back around those towns, you know, with Ashley hitting these. And we're doing Baltimore, Maryland last night, and we're in Vegas the week before that.
You're in Vegas. Have you ever been out to Vegas?
Yeah, man. So I've been out there the last 2 years.
Oh, NFR stuff?
Yep, National Finals Rodeo. But year before last was the first time I'd been. That's a crazy town.
I've never been. I want to do
a
race.
Dude,
Nikki's
Matt,
been.
What are you doing?
Nikki comes from a line of people that love, like his family, they enjoy slots and they enjoy card games. And so Nikki's taken family vacations as a kid out to Vegas. And he's got a few years on both you and I. He's in his 40s, so he's taken bachelor trips out there and done all that. Sure. I've never been to Vegas. My girlfriend loves it out there. So
it's awesome, dude.
I want to get out there.
Like 3 days.
3 days.
That's what I'm calling it. If anybody listens, like disagrees or tells me whatever, like, what's your opinion? My vote, 3 days in Vegas is plenty. Because, dude, it never sleeps, man. It never stops. And you're, like, in there, and you're like, oh, man, I'm playing blackjack or whatever, 3-card poker. And then it's, like, 4 in the morning, you know, and you're like, man, I'm, like, dizzy because I've been staring at cards for 2 hours, and now I'm going to get a steak, and it's 6 in the morning. There's people, like, drinking liquor over at the bar, and you're like, what's going on, dude? It's Vegas, you know, so but it's also really cool town.
Is that a show with Ashley out there?
No, so we're actually doing, that's like shows for me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yep, doing for National Finals Rodeo, and we'll be doing a few nights in Thomas and Mack Center at the Cowboy Corral stage, they call it, which is inside of Thomas and Mack. We're doing 3 nights, I think, there, and we'll play right before the rodeo kicks off, and then we'll actually, I think, come back and do a set after the rodeo's over. So that's a killer. That's a killer show. And then we're doing Cowboy Revival and some other stuff out there with Rocky Mountain Elk, and it's going to be sick, dude.
Dude, that's not a bad way to close. That's the end of this year, right?
Yeah, I think like the last 2 weeks of the year is like Vegas, and then on the road with Ashley.
Not a bad.
And then sayonara until January.
Yeah, not a bad way to close out what has been a very productive 2023 for you.
It has, man. This year's been really good to me, man. We've definitely. We're not letting the grass grow under our feet by no means.
So when you're not doing music, I know you spend a lot of time with your girls.
Yep.
What are you doing? Like,
oh, dude, like what am I into?
Yeah, like what are you into and shit?
Bro, so I am I'm into so many things that I don't have time to do.
I'm guessing hunting.
Love to hunt. Got into turkey hunting a couple years ago, and that's kind of like eating me up. You're talking about Muscadine and Bloodline boys, you know. Same. Love it, dude. I love turkey hunting just because I'm learning so much, and still, like, I feel like that's one of those, like, just figure it out over the course of a lifetime.
You'd appreciate this. Last night we went and watched the boys over at Scoreboard.
Yeah.
Nikki and I went. We had to go for the first Tuesday night at Scoreboard post release.
Yeah.
And I went up there and was a little bit of a wise ass, but he did it.
Yeah.
I paid put $20 in the tip jar. I looked at Andy and I was like, "Give me a good turkey.
Gobble.
Give me a turkey call."
Yeah.
And then I had him play one Foot in the Door that he wrote with Casey.
Yeah,
dude. Great song that
what
he
a great
doesn't
song.
play a whole lot anymore. But
Yeah.
he explained to the whole crowd. He's like, "This is the owl hoot that you do for this, and this is my gobble." And then he gobbled. And
he can do it,
awesome.
man.
Oh, he can. I had him on like episode 3 or 4, one of the first episodes I ever did of this podcast years ago, and we had him do it on the podcast. We had him gobble and shit. It was fucking wild. But so you like turkey hunting?
Love turkey hunting, dude. I'm really big into fly fishing.
Okay.
So random, but dude, I got into fly fishing like 10 years ago.
Can you do that out here? Is that something that's more like
you can.
out the west?
Mostly out west, or you know, man, there's incredible trout streams on the East Coast, like Northwest North Carolina's covered in them. East Tennessee, you know, you got South Holston and Watauga River out there. That is really world-class trout fishing, you know. But, dude, I got into that like 10 years ago, and it's kind of like everybody makes this assumption. It's like bow hunting, kind of, you know, but fishing. It's like really raw and super difficult, and there's all kinds of science that goes into it. You're like time flies and all this stuff. But dude, there's been like a huge trend, kind of like craft breweries and stuff. Kind of blew up.
Yeah.
Like the fly fishing world, kind of happened with that, with the fly fishing world too. About the time I got in it, and so I got eat up with fly fishing. You can do it out here on Caney Fork and Cumberland, and I got buddies that chase striper and stuff on fly rods, which is gnarly.
Yeah.
And of course at the coast, they're catching like giant stripers on fly rods. It's nuts. But man, fly fishing. I love to hunt. I love anything outdoors, dude. Which I don't get enough time to get outdoors.
Have you tied it into touring at all when you've been out west? Have you been able to do that yet? Because I know a
Some.
lot of guys will do that.
Some, yeah. A lot of people play golf and stuff. And I like to play golf some. But man, like I'm such an outdoors junkie that I'm like, man, if I got spare time, like, and I can go get in a river somewhere or get in the woods or something, I'm all for that. But that's definitely a plan. Like moving into next year, I already carry like a fly rod with me everywhere I go anyway. So if we are ever getting out to like Colorado or anywhere like that, dude, I'm for sure tossing some flies.
Yeah, and you said you were over at Universal. You know John Pierce?
Oh, dude.
So I was gonna say John is a.
So I actually wrote with Pierce yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. So
I love that guy.
Yeah, I do too, man. What a salt of the earth, hilarious dude.
Yes.
We've got some really funny stories. Definitely.
And he's a man that's been through it all. Like that's a guy you can learn from that came to town, did the artist thing for a minute,
Record
and has
deal.
just had done the record deal thing, done the not on the record deal thing, and just been a hit maker of a songwriter and just a stand up dude.
He is, man. He's just fun to be around. That dude just makes me laugh, man.
Yes,
he does.
Yeah, I got to know John when I was out with Trey on the Kid Rock tour. We did we rented out a bus and we brought out some writers, and it was John Pierce, Adam Craig, and Matt McVaney.
Yeah, dude, McVie, baby.
And Matty McVie. So
Yeah.
it was the three of them, myself, Trey, and our bus driver Bobby Lee, who was just
I like Bobby Lee already, man.
Bobby Lee's the guy that you drive up through the Northeast, and he puts you can pull over to fuel up, and you see that there's a piece of paper over the license plate, and I'm like, Bobby Lee, what are you doing? He's like, we don't pay no tolls. I'm like, all right, Bobby Lee.
My dude.
He's like, right, there's the right way, the wrong way, the Bobby Lee way. You don't start no shit, there won't be no shit.
I like it. Kind of got me fired up right there, dude.
Bro,
just listening to that.
Yeah, dude, there was like pieces of spare wood like outside one of the venues. I think it was up in Massachusetts, and he saw the wood there, and then we went inside and we're chilling out, whatever. And I come back out, and Bobby Lee's got the wood, and he's building a shelving unit in one of the bays of the bus for all of his shit. He's took the wood, like the empty
Don't mind
pallets.
me.
Yeah, and he has a little toolkit out.
Right.
And he's out there sawing wood.
I'm just doing some carpentry work real quick, dude.
Bobby Lee, what the
love
fuck?
it.
Yeah, so that's how I got to know John, was on that
That's
weekend.
who you want driving your bus.
I got to know John Pierce and Adam Craig and Matt McVaney on a run of Kid Rock shows with Bobby Lee driving.
That's sick. What a great group of people, dude. What a cool hang.
They were drinking box wine. Big
That doesn't
box,
surprise me.
box wine guys, because Trey was like, hey, go out and get some like tequila and
Sure.
some Fireball and some this and that. They didn't really touch any of that stuff. They just drank. They showed up with their own box wine, and
You were
they
like,
were just,
we're good.
They were just slapping the bag, because when you're out on the road as a writer, you're writing during the day, and then when the show's on, you're just
it's the
chilling.
best.
You're just chilling.
We went out and did a few nights with Randall King.
Oh, bro,
and writing.
those are some good boys out there.
Oh, man, they are. And what was so cool about it was being an artist, but also being a songwriter. I was like, dude, we got done writing, and I was like, I don't have to go to work tonight. You know what I mean? Like, I can just hang out and watch the show and just enjoy the hang. And so it's really fun, man, when you do that. I love it.
Yeah, and Randall's his show's
Oh, dude, it's
awesome.
incredible. Yeah, incredible, dude.
How'd you get to know him? Was that through the Palace and stuff?
Man, I'm trying to think about how I got to know Randall. I think I got to know Randall through some of his team, like Scott Gunner and some of those guys, and just mutual friends, I think, is how that happened. But, dude, just a great guy, great band, great music. I know he just cut some new stuff, too. I think he might have cut one that I wrote there.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. We'll see. You'll know if it's on there or not. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a hard time being a writer and being an artist when you're writing, when you're in the room as an artist or
For
in the
sure.
room as a writer? Like, 'cause I feel like that's a balance.
It's a weird balance, and what's crazy about it is like a lot of everybody. A lot of times when you get in a room, we were talking about this yesterday. It's like, man, they want to write for you, and you're like, dude, I'm all about writing for me, but like I also love writing stuff for other people, man. Like that's part of the fun of writing songs, so I try to balance it best I can, for sure.
Yeah, because I've heard that from other people before. Like
Yeah.
it can be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing good on that cigar, bro.
I know, dude. I'm kind of like knocking her down, ain't I?
Yeah, I'm moving pretty good too. I'm just talking a whole lot.
It's all
so
right,
that's my
dude.
thing.
It is a podcast.
I'll sit through. I'll smoke like 2 or 3 cigars back to back to back if
For
we
sure.
go to Smoker's Abbey or something. Like I'll just.
Sit there and knock 'em
I'm
down.
a smoker. I quit.
What's
I
your
quit-
favorite? What do you like to pair a cigar with? I guess it depends on the cigar. Or
For me, it's coffee because I don't drink
Yeah,
anymore. 'Cause
yeah.
I'm 7 years sober, so I
Yep.
can't.
coffee
I
or
can't-
like a good carbonated water, like
yes,
a Topo Chico or something.
Yeah, a good Topo Chico.
Yeah.
Those that Delta 9 seltzer.
Yep.
I had one of those inside. I was thinking about grabbing that
Yeah.
to have that with this because
Yeah.
then the nicotine and that together would be like, whoa.
Yeah,
But-
man. A lot of people too, like for me, like a good like Reposado or like a good tequila
Yes.
is really good. A lot of
Yeah.
people go straight to like bourbon whiskey, wine and stuff like that. But
For
for
this
m-
time of year, it's good. But in the summer, if you're having a stick, I can see why
Yeah.
tequila would be the way to go.
tequila's good, man. It's light and crisp.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, man. So super into fly fishing, into hunting, into hiking, outdoors in general. I'm just healthier outside, you know. And of course, I grew up just living in the outdoors, you know, all the time. I had like a really awesome childhood, you know, a little Huck Finn childhood where it was awesome, just running around barefooted and living in the woods.
Yeah,
And
what's it like going
I
to
love
high
it,
school
dude.
out there? Like, what is? Because I grew up in a suburb of New York City.
oh yeah,
Completely different
so
world.
I'm from Carroll County.
Carroll
So we had
County.
one high school for the whole county.
One high school for the whole county.
Yeah, and probably like a 20-minute commute or something like that. But it was awesome, man. It was, I mean, just a really great way of life. You know, laid back and easy, and I miss it all the time, dude. It was awesome, dude. I mean, you know, the same 12 guys played every sport, you know, because it's like we got to have a football team, we got to have a basketball team.
Yeah,
you know?
how many did you play?
Man, basketball was really like my favorite. That was my bigger sport. But I like ran track, you know, did a bunch of stuff like that.
There's an Amber Alert.
There is, man. I don't know if. Oh wait, it's on my phone now. Stay tuned.
Boy. Oh, it's just a test. It's not
Yeah.
even an alert.
What
It's
a waste of my
It's
time.
a damn test.
What a waste of my
Interrupted the button.
time.
Thanks, Apple.
Yeah,
we
geez.
appreciate that. Jesus.
But yeah, so you know, any of that stuff I'm super into, man. I love like all kinds of stuff. My wife, like, you know, I'm sure she gets really tired of it, but I just get fixated on probably just super ADD.
Yeah,
But
I
like
am too.
when I get done like writing or I've been on the road and I've been like super, you know, being on all the time, and like when I'm decompressing, I'll fixate on things for like 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
Like what?
Like one time, this is this is so stupid, dude. Like one time, I got really into watching these videos of like dudes replacing boot soles. It's weird.
Like the bottom of the boot.
Yeah, which I mean, there's a name for that. Like somebody knows the name of what that is. Like, you know, there's like hat stores like a haberdashery. There's like dudes that do that, right? You know, like boot repair and stuff. And for some reason, I got to watching these like YouTube channels of like dudes like repairing these old soles and like old Red Wings and stuff. Really random. I got really into like EDC, like everyday carry, like knives, like wallet and all that stuff. I don't know why. Like this is the random stuff that I fall into.
Well, how many pairs of boots do you own? Like,
Hey,
are
I
you-
got a bunch of boots. Yeah, for
I
sure.
was gonna say they probably send you boots at this point.
I haven't gotten
Have you
any
gotten a boot
free.
deal
I
yet?
haven't gotten a boot deal, man. But I am working with some cool clothing companies and stuff
Really?
right now. Yeah, man. Combs Ranch hooked me up with a bunch of stuff, which is cool. I love Combs. Snaps Clothing Company. I was just on the phone with those guys. They're based out of Texas. Snaps Clothing. And if you look on my Instagram, you'll see some of their shirts and stuff. But dude, they're doing some really killer stuff. But I haven't got any boot deals yet. I've been, you know, floating around.
We need to get you a damn boot deal.
I know, man. I wear them out.
Like what pair? Like what are those?
I don't even know what these are. These are like old python snake skins, man. I've been rocking the snakeskin deal, man, for a long time, for probably 10 or 12 years. But I wear these, and I wear ostrich and stuff like that. But these might even be like some old Dan Post or something. I don't
They're
know,
nice.
man. Yeah,
They're some
dude.
cool fucking boots.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I got a bunch of boots, you know, but we're in them every day.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, so I just like fixate on like the most random stuff, and I think it's just a way for me to like decompress. Of course, I watch a ton of like mini documentary, like, you know, Yeti style videos, and I really love all that stuff. Like, of course, nowadays, you know, you're having to figure out how to like film and take photos. You like do all this stuff, you know, before you
Yeah.
get a team around you yourself, you know. So I love watching. You kind of learn to respect like when people are doing really high quality stuff, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the documentary stuff's interesting too. Like I watch a lot of those like Netflix documentaries. Like I watched one on the other day. Nikki just had it on. I'll come over here, and Nikki and I we're 420 friendly, so you never
Yeah.
know what the hell's gonna go on over here. And,
Sure.
then there's people recording downstairs, and there's merch fulfillment out of there, and it's just chaos over here.
Yeah.
But we were watching the GameStop
Yeah, dude.
documentary. of like when GameStop, like the economic shit and that stuff. I don't understand, but it was like interesting.
You're crazy, dude.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Any kind of random.
And then the sports
thing like that.
documentaries, I
For
was
sure.
like too. Like they just put one out about Florida State,
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
which I haven't watched yet either. It was
Yeah.
on. It was on at the bar yesterday,
Yeah.
like in the background. But obviously, you're not listening and watching that when you're
Yeah,
in the bar. So, as far as being in Nashville, what are some of like, your favorite spots that are here in town that you like going to? I know the local and
the local
scoreboard.
scoreboard, Nashville Palace is pretty much like the three.
What's like one that I wouldn't think of that's like a spot where you be a weird spot to find the Will Jones.
Oh, dude, and rare in the wild in the sighting. Man, I love Music City Bar down there. It's right across from Scoreboard.
I love that you have 3 different bars right there. Just in general,
Right there, dude.
And all 3 bars are different.
They are. I
It's
tell
like-
people all the time, I'm like, dude, if you're in Nashville, just go to Music Valley across from the Opry, and you got 3 really badass bars right there.
Yeah.
And they're all super unique.
Oh, they're all very unique.
Yeah, but man, Music City has got some of the best country music in town.
Dude, the old heads in there
Yeah,
are
dude,
just
incredible, man, incredible. So that's kind of like my go-tos, you know. Sometimes I get over to East Nashville. And when I first moved to town, I went over to like Honky Tonk Tuesday some, you know,
Yeah.
check that out. But now, as far as that goes, man, really the local pretty much is like my hometown bar in Nashville.
Yeah, have you been out to has the one in Hendersonville opened up yet?
No, but I think they're getting pretty close to it. So that'll be awesome, dude. Everybody in Hendersonville can definitely use that too, I feel like.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It's cool what Jeff's done and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that, and just seeing different bars that are in town moving to adding second locations. Like Live
Yep.
Oak's about to open up one on 2nd Avenue.
Yeah, oh, I didn't
On
know
Broadway.
That. No joke.
Yeah, Live Oak's gonna be downtown with all that
That's
chaos.
like- yeah, man. Wow.
So they're about to have Midtown and downtown,
Oh, wow.
which that'll be
Tin
which-
roof status.
Yeah, right. Exactly, dude. It's gonna be crazy. And then what do you like to eat around here? You a big barbecue guy, being a Virginia Carolina guy.
I do love North Carolina style barbecue. Of course, you know, all my Texas friends, you know, they'll hold that one against me. But I don't mess with the brisket, man. When it comes to brisket and stuff, it's definitely all about some Texas barbecue there. But I love barbecue, dude. I love a good steak, man. You know, I'm pretty predictable in that sense. But man, I also really love a good cheeseburger, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I think I figured out, it took me this long in my life to figure out that, like, cheeseburger is my favorite food. Because it's
Really?
like I crave it more than anything else, you know. And I try to eat healthy and work out and stuff, but, dude, I freaking love a badass cheeseburger.
Sound like Randy from Trailer Park Boys. I
Oh,
don't know if
bro.
you've ever seen that.
I
where
love
he's
that show.
Dude, I do too.
I know. I might have to go back and revisit that one.
Yeah.
But I love a good yeah. So we eat around. Man, we cook a lot at the house, you know. I got
That's
like a
good.
Blackstone and grills and stuff. So
you ever make
know.
fried rice on that thing?
Yeah, dude, like the hibachi stuff,
Yeah,
like
bro.
smash burgers, man. My neighbor had some elk burger.
Ooh.
So we did elk smash burgers one night with like horseradish mustard and stuff.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
I did
You
a
have to come over.
I did a food review at as we pop around and do those. We have our new series. It's called "Tried That in a Small Town" with Matt Burrill. When we're on the road.
I freaking love that, dude.
So me and Nikki, when we're going to these festivals, we pull over to the little towns. But we were up in, we went to the Eric Church concert
Yeah.
up in Cincinnati, and we were just tailgating out there. And the guys next to us just had elk burgers.
No way.
So I did a review of an elk burger.
What'd you think?
with some. It was fucking delicious.
It's good, right?
It was great.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, elk, bison, all that. Like
Get
meat.
your Joe Rogan on, dude.
Dude, absolutely. That guy eats a lot of.
He gets a lot of elk.
all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
all kind different style
He
stuff.
eats like ayahuasca and then elk burger.
Yeah, that's a hell of a combination. I don't know if I could do all that. I think I'm a 420 and have the munchies help me. I don't know if I need all that stuff. Like
He's
I got
crazy,
friends that are like into the mushroom shit.
Golly,
Like,
yeah.
I've tried it, but it's not like something I have friends that eat mushrooms and then go out. Like I can't imagine eating like
Gnarly.
doing that and then going out to the bars and
Dude.
stuff.
And you know what's funny, and actually, like I was talking to somebody about this when we were in Texas. I was like, it's funny, man, when you get really busy too. You don't I don't even really drink anymore, you know, ever. And it's like you get too busy because you're so busy. It's like I don't have time to do all that, you know. Like I'll have a good time, like when I'm playing shows and stuff. Man, I'll have a couple drinks and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, what's on the Will Jones rider?
Dude, nothing right now. I need to craft one up. I'm like too nice, man. I'm like, dude, if you got some water, you know, and some tequila, if you got a little something to eat, I'm good, man.
We gotta put Zins on there.
Definitely Zen, dude. I even like ended up. This is so funny, man. I was doing the Whiskey Jam parking lot party a few weeks ago, and like somebody took a picture of me, and I was like going on stage, and I always have a Zen in, and I'm on stage too, and I didn't realize really even how popular they are, but everybody's on the Zen train, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good man. It's a great solution, but I always got a Zen in, man, 24/7 when I'm singing and stuff too, and And I was like popping a Zen in this picture, and I was like, dude, Zen's gotta hook me up at some point in time, dude.
Well, dude, my
Have to.
my cheat code for the Zen stuff has been when you go to different festivals, like what they have at Whiskey Jam, or what they
like
have
the
at
booth or whatever.
The booth, bro. You're at
Get loaded up.
next year. You'll be at festivals and stuff.
Yep.
Send the runner, or if
Yep.
you want to go out and do it yourself, you can buy. So we're at festivals. It's like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
You can get 3 cans a day for $1 a piece.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
It's
So we walk
really
out there
cheap.
12 cans for $12.
Whoa.
So I'll stock up during festival season. Like I just recently had
You got like a stash around here, like a vault where there's
I just had to start buying them by the roll. I just ran out.
Just did.
So I buy them by the roll down
Yeah.
the street at Mapco.
dude, there's nothing that makes you feel more like wealthy in that moment
And when you have that roll,
when you walk out of that gas station with that roll of Zen. Dude.
the roll of
You're like,
Zen
I'm
for,
good, dude.
roll is in for $20 and like 50 cents or whatever it is, bro.
Yeah, you're like,
and it is cheaper than the
dude.
pack and a half of cigs that I used to
Dude, or
smoke.
dip or anything, and
Yeah.
I've done it all, and it's like Zen for me has been the biggest thing.
Dude, I don't even feel like
it's a
they're
great
in.
solution.
I can drink water when they're in.
Exactly.
I can smoke a cigar when they're in.
Yeah, exactly.
I was eating last night. We were at that.
Have you ever swallowed one?
Not yet.
Dude, I
Not
did
yet.
one time. I swallowed like 2. I had like 2 in because I'm a nicotine fiend, I guess.
Same.
Right?
Same.
And I swallowed 2. And like as soon as I did it, I dozed off and I swallowed them both.
Oh.
And I like felt it get like kind of warm as it was going down, and I was like, okay, what's going to happen here, right?
Yeah.
And then nothing happened, and I was like, oh, cool, all right.
Yeah, I had
Lucked out.
Josh Ross has told stories of when he's swallowed Zins.
Yeah, dude.
Sleeping like it's
Yep.
it's because you forget that it's in.
I know. It's so comfortable.
And it's like, and you're a sixes guy as well.
Yeah, I'm sticking to I'm a 6. I'm a wintergreen guy.
I'm a 6. I have the coffee one sitting right here, but I'm usually, because when you're at the festivals and you get them for $1 a piece, you can just get all kinds of different flavors. So I've tried a bunch of different ones. I'm usually Cool Mint because I like
Cool Mint.
I was a Copenhagen Mint guy.
Yep.
That was my. What was your first can of dip?
That was like Grizzly Wintergreen.
Okay, the Welfare Bear.
Yep, exactly. I think we used to like sneak and put it in like in weightlifting class and stuff, which looking back on that is gnarly, dude.
That is not the place you want.
What's
to
your
be.
bench max? I don't know. Let me try to like put this dip in that I don't even want and do it. Like,
Just
what
be
an
feeling
idiot. Yeah, stupid, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's Zen has been great for me, and it's like Zen's great too because I can have it. It's not like when you're smoking cigs, you smell like cigs. Like
You
cigars,
smell
you smell like cigars. We're gonna smell like cigars for a little bit. That's okay because it's a premium stick. It's a great fucking cigar.
Exactly.
But with Zins, you could just pop it in. It's like you're not bothering anybody around you.
Nope.
I don't spit them. I see you don't spit them either.
No,
I just
yeah.
cut them. It's just
It's just in there
It's just easy.
doing its thing, baby.
Doing its thing.
Yeah.
So we got Whiskey Sippi.
Yep, we got
coming
Whiskey
out.
Sippi coming up October 13th, so Friday after this, or whenever this is aired, I guess.
This will be the day that it comes out.
Yeah, so today,
Yes.
when this comes out, today, Whiskey Sippi is available on all platforms. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. And we're going to be releasing a whole bunch of content with it and stuff like that, even for a week or 2 or 3 weeks after that. So if you get on TikTok, Instagram, Will Jones Official, you'll find me on all the places, man, Facebook, YouTube, all that places. And you'll see a bunch of stuff taking you to Whiskey Sippi. Modern Day Bonnie and Clyde's out now. Sedona's out in the world, and we got a bunch more coming. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, just come out to the shows, man. I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Yeah, dude,
All
I
the
can't
live
wait
stuff.
I can't wait to get out to
The full
to a
band's
show.
fun, man.
And I know we can see it. We're spoiled here in Nashville that we can see it every Monday.
And dude, it's fun too because like our full band show it's like rock and roll, bluegrass, rock and roll, swampy, country damn music, dude. And it's a riot, dude. It's a good time, man. It's fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super stoked for you. It's been cool watching you getting getting the eyes on you that
Appreciate
you deserve, and you've been grinding here in town for a while, and just seeing you're still the same Will Jones that I met when you moved here in 2019.
Yeah, man. I ain't going nowhere, dude.
2020. So it's fucking awesome, man. And super stoked for the music to be coming out. Excited that you're working with Bart. You got the damn booking deal. Like it's all coming into place, and you get to be a dad and a husband while you do all that.
Exactly,
stuff. Like,
man. Yeah, no, life's really good right now, man.
That's exactly how I feel, dude.
Yeah.
And life is good sitting out heater outside.
It ain't
As we
bad,
have-
is it?
As we have planes, we had the alert go off there. We've had those sirens go off. It's funny. We'll hear Nikki and I'll be out here at night, and you'll just hear the fire station right there, and
Yeah,
you'll
it's
hear
right there.
you'll hear what the call is, like over the speaker, over the intercom, man. But I appreciate you coming on here,
Dude,
and,
I appreciate you having me,
and
man.
hanging out, being our being our test for doing this first outdoor pod. I think we're gonna do more of these.
I think
this
you
was
should.
Fun.
Yeah, dude. I
We'll
can sit out here all day.
Oh, yeah, dude. Well, yeah, we got plenty. We got a whole box
We
here.
got cigars. We got everything, man. We're set.
We got cigars and we got Sixers of Zin, so we are good to go. But I'll be sure to check out our boy Will Jones. Whiskey Sippi is out now. Look him up on all the socials. If you're here in Nashville, get out to a Monday night show. Watch Will and the boys play over at the local. And out on the road, look up. You got a website?
Yeah, so I think it's all linked through like my Instagram and stuff too, like directly to shows and all the ticket links too. Boy Named Banjo. I forgot we're doing a few nights with them.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Steelwoods.
Dude, that's awesome.
Ricky Skaggs.
Hell
on top
yeah.
of the Ashley stuff and everything else. So yeah, get up on my socials is a really good way to kind of link you to everything, man.
Hell yeah. Well, y'all be sure to follow our boy Will Jones and stream the hell out of his music because it is damn good. It's country damn music.
Country damn music, dude.
And it is damn good. Appreciate y'all watching this episode of Outside the Round. Shout out to our friends, Big Friendly Productions, Whaletail Media, Saxman Studios. You want to find out more about us, visit RaiseRide.com. Like, rate, subscribe, tell your mama and them. And we will see you next time. For my boy Will, I'm Matt Burrill. This has been Outside the Round.